Demonstration of the Imperial 2-needle box pleater with a 1 3/4 inch gauge.
The first thing we're going to do is explain the machine features. First thing being the stitch regulator, which is this button over here in the bed of the machine. By that and turning the hand wheel, you can regulate the size of the stitch, which effectively controls the dimension from pleat to pleat. If you want to make the space bigger, you make the stitch bigger. If you want to make the space smaller, you make the stitch smaller. The second adjustment would be over on the right hand side, would be this adjustment here on this spline. Moving it up makes the inlay of the pleat deeper. Moving it down makes the inlay smaller. So you can control the depth of the pleat independent of the spacing of the pleat by moving this spline adjustment. You can make side pleats and you can make reverse pleats with the machine by changing the cam in the rear of the machine. The cam is changed by loosening this nut, pulling back on the cam, and placing the other cam. Okay? We'll show that again later. When you replace the cam, there's a pin here which guides the cam into a set timing position. Replace the nut. That's all that has to be done. The machine has got a special positioning motor on it, so that when you stop the machine, the blade will always stop in the closest in the far back position, and the needle take-up will be in the top up position. This enables you to be able to release the tension so that you can pull the piece out. Heel pivoting on the treadle raises the foot. By raising the foot, you simultaneously are releasing the tensions. When the foot is up and you place this clamp, now this clamp is to take the pressure off the blades. The material can be freely moved out of the machine. Releasing the foot pressure with the treadle on the foot drops back down. When you want to insert a new piece, you take the piece and going from the front of the foot you go from the front to the back, holding the foot up and releasing the foot. There's a guide, an edge guide under here, a pocket so to speak, where you would insert the edge of the material so that you can control the edge of the pleating. You insert it under the foot, back to whatever start position you deem necessary. I'm using as a guide the back edge of the plate, but you can use any edge guide you want. You can put a mark over here. If you find that your space is too big or too small, you would move the edge guide. When you're ready to start sewing, you would remove the clamp off the blades, and then the machine is set so it's got a slow start, and then it ramps up to the top speed that we have it set for. And as I'm running it, I'm keeping the material into the edge guide pocket. And depending on where you stop, We started using the mark in the back of the foot. Comes up more or less in line with the white line that was on your sample. The pleating here, now here we made one pleat too many, okay? But you can see that the pleating is such. We have a nice straight line.
Nice and uniform.
Okay, and there's the pleating. If we want to reverse the pleat, we take the cam off. We put the other cam on. Now, in reality, you would do all one side, and then when you finish the one side, you'd go back and do the opposite side, because there's going to be some minor adjustments that are going to have to be made to replicate the pleat size and spacing from the one operation to the next. Okay. Now here, we're doing the same thing. We're going to put the clamp on to hold the blades apart. We're going to hold the foot up. We're going to insert the piece again from front to back. We're using the same back of the plate as our guide. We're making sure that the edge of the material is in the edge guide control. Remove the clamp. Turning it one extra pleat by hand, releasing it, holding the pressure off, taking it out. Now you can see I got a better, I started and I finished more or less in line with what you're talking about.